My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
So let's continue. If you go on PYTE, there's a video that I did regarding Archie, and I'm just continuing. All right. So there were some TikTok videos that I saw, and I wanted to share them with you. And I think they were making reference to the VE Day. All right. Yesterday, there were some, I think it was yesterday, where they were at the balcony and things like that. Well, I'll be damned. Another quote, I don't like Prince Harry, but he's correct. Snippet, okay? 1 minute and 48 seconds, there'll be screenshot.
Much as I think everything else he's done, he's created himself, and everything else that he's done, he's completely on his own back. On this, I actually agree with him, and let me explain why. So are you aware, for example, that every Prime Minister in this country who is still living gets a full security detail for life? So people like John Major, who stopped being Prime Minister back in the mid-90s, 30 years ago, still gets a full security detail. Liz Truss, who was Prime Minister for 43 days, gets a full security detail and will do for the rest of her life. And that applies to many people that have held senior positions in public life in this country. So irrespective of what you think of Harry and Meghan, they are part of the royal family. They would have a target on their head, and surely they are as deserving of security details and security contacts as people like John Major, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, and every other Prime Minister, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, etc., etc. And therefore, taking that away from them just smacks of pettiness, bitterness, and has been done deliberately to shaft them. And I'm not a hypocrite. I don't believe that's the right way to go about things. I think it's petty and wrong to take away from them something that they clearly do need security, and to take away from them something that everyone else in public life at a senior level, and not even as senior as them, gets. And that's why, purely on this basis, not on everything else he's done, but purely on this particular argument, I think he's in the right. And I think he's got the right to have the ump and be pissed off with his family, with the government, and with MI5, MI6, etc., who provide this security for him.
Okay, let's not forget as well. I agree with him, but there's some part that he said I would love for him to elaborate a little bit more. Let's not forget. Okay, first thought. Let's not forget Harry is suing the papers, and so far he has won every aspect. The last paper that he sued, it literally near the end, like before trial, they settle. Okay? I don't think they disclaimed the amount. And then he made them apologize to him, his mother, and everything else. So they are pissed. These are the people that are putting the scare tactic on Charles.
Your relationship with your father? Is he taking your calls now?
Yeah. He is. There's a lot to work through there. You know, I feel really let down because he's been through something similar. He knows what pain feels like. My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
And then let's not forget, there are people who works at the palace who also work at Ravik. Okay? And one of the person that works at Ravik is someone that Charles had had placed or removed the Queen's private secretary and put this person in place. And then now that same person is also working at Ravik. And that was disclosed during the proceedings, and Harry was shocked to know there are some people who works for the royal family who's also working at Ravik. So which means someone at the palace is controlling what Ravik does instead of it being independently. All right, there was something that he said. Let's see something here.
To take away from them something that everyone else in public life at a senior level, and not even as senior as them, gets. And that's why, purely on this basis, not on everything else he's done, but purely on...
Yeah, not everything else he done. I would like to know what he consider everything else that he has done, that he feel like he should mention it. But besides that, everything else, and I believe I agree. Okay, I also support Harry 100%. Don't care what other people think. Not here to argue. It's my personal opinion. Period. Okay, this makes sense. But who decides who gets security? If the king is saying no, then Harry has a point. It's being used as a punishment, and no judge should allow this to happen. The king, he controls everything. Yeah, he controls everything. They hate Harry like they hate his mama Diana. They are wicked. What father will deny his son and his son's family protection? Charles doesn't know what love is. That's what he said when he was getting engaged with Diana.
He clearly didn't want to be there. And it's easy to sit here now and say that's the fact. But when you were watching it, you know, it's like you could see his mum's boot print on the back of his jacket.
Are you in love? Lovely little question. Very typical question to ask people who just got engaged.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Yes.
Whatever in love means.
I was brought up in the sense that, you know, when you got engaged with someone, you loved them. And the most extraordinary thing is we had this ghastly interview the day we announced our engagement, and this ridiculous ITN man said, "Are you in love?" So I thought, what a thick question. So I said, yes, of course we are, in the sort of fat, stern ranger that I was. And Charles turned around and said, whatever in love means. And that threw me completely. I thought, what a strange question. God, how does it traumatize me?
Maybe his big brother wants his king will love his brother again. Yep, years ago, the press dubbed Harry the new Princess Diana, free to harass, hate, and abuse him, and of course his wife and children. If people can't see why Harry left, they are being willfully blind. That is true. Great, and of course, now I like to talk to him about the everything else he claimed Harry's done wrong over a cup of tea. Did I respond to that? Okay, right, security was pulled before a book, before the Oprah interview, but that's probably where the misguided everything he's done stuff is coming from. But I was surprised he didn't act deranged and instead said, I'm not hypocrite. Let's see, there's 4 comments under that. All right, I just read that. That's an ad. There's me here, my first thought too. All right, there's the laugh. I keep thinking what he's done. Yes, I agree, though I appreciate this video. What did he do wrong? Defend himself against the royal family, leaks to the press and the tabloid hate campaign. Okay, let's go back. There's this Liz Truss. Yes, I believe this is the person he's referring to. Yeah, and this person, Liz Truss, was one of the people, one of the former prime ministers who came to the US for the RNC. Okay, what are the difference between these two? One was born into his life and the other chose their life. One chose to place himself in harm's way to fight for his country, plus, okay, so there's all of that. Wow. They parade him. It wasn't his choice. They literally put him in front of the camera from the day he was born. This is a very good point here. To add to this, these people are all choose to be in the public eye, hold office. Oh, this is why she put this. I agree with that. Just the video itself. What choice did Harry have here? They literally, right after he came out of his mama's vagina, I don't know, a day later, and they parade him to the public? Can Harry defend himself here? My goodness. Okay, Harry was born into the risk. He was the highest risk even before he married Meghan. The fact that all he is asking for is an actual assessment to be done, and then action is the bare minimum needed. No choice. I was old and handed over on a silver platter to the UK press and public. Yeah. Let me just go over this really quickly. My goodness. Okay, at this point, I won't want a detail. They're not to be trusted. This. Alright, glad people speak about this. Like him or not, he has a valid and important point. Exactly. The decision stems from fear of fading relevance. As the couple's influence grows, the UK is non-negotiable if the monarchy is to endure. Okay, correct, pure jealousy and not obvious assessment. Definitely after this. As an American, my opinion is that Prime Minister should not get lifetime taxpayers funded security. Even though I'm American, because of the position that they hold, if, for instance, they're doing public speaking, they're going out to do certain things, I think they should because of, as a prime minister, I think they should. But if they're doing things privately and their own, whatever, I don't know. I could understand. It's almost like a president receiving security. What do you call this? Secret Service. Okay, as an American, my opinion is that Prime Minister should not get lifetime taxpayers funded security, maybe a 3 to 5 year grace period after service, but to continually fund when taxpayers are overburdened already seems excessive. I am rather frustrated taxpayers at this point. But then again, when you're looking, the royal family are doing the bare minimum, but they keep on getting increase of payment. So that money that's going to the royal family should go to the paying for security for the prime ministers. I think the prime minister should get the security. But Liz Truss, she was there for like 40-something days. Maybe that one could be somewhat edit. How do you call this? That's the best way I could think of. Maybe for a certain amount of years, but not that long. She didn't do it. Whatever. Let's go to the next one. This is another TikTok video. People, I think, talking about heavy security. Is that one? No, I think, is it Richard Eden? They literally have a full house of the ones they claim are, quote, working royals, end quote, but they hit the street to ask about Harry and Meghan. There's the crying face here. What does that say about the ones standing on the mighty balcony? Doesn't scream they are good enough, does it? 13 seconds.
The King's 76, 77, and it'd be nice to get a family reunion.
I think it's quite sad that they're not going to be here, as he did serve in the British Army.
They've got no security, so I'm not entirely sure they'll be able to come back.
The King's 70s.
I wish I could hear the question as well. What page is this? TikTok. I've got something to say. Yeah, TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. Interesting. They didn't slag Harry and Meghan off. They fear the crowds they will pull with their two gorgeous children if allowed in the country. Admitted or not, Harry is the real star of the family. He's the most loved and adored. Yeah, this is one of the reasons. Okay, two reasons why I think they do not want him in the country. Because they want the spotlight. That's one thing. And the other thing, it's the papers. The papers have some beef with Harry because Harry stand up to them. His wife stand up to them. So they don't like that. And the father is helping to, whatever is in their mind. Let me not repeat it into the universe. When he went to, when they claimed that he got cancer, Harry flew over there and they wanted him to stay at a place that did not have any security. So his father doesn't mean well for him. All right. It's beyond belief. This was supposed to be the Royal and Veterans Day. There should have been nothing else. There's the thinking face here. Well, I suppose they do need a bit of Harry and Meghan essence to get things going. Okay, wait a minute. Is this supposed to be about VE Day? The veterans of that era and their families. The British royal family is only mentioning in context to the Sussexes. Okay, I saw that many comments agree that they should have security, and others saying that Daily Mail is obsessed with Harry and Meghan. I agree with both. Okay, that and this is what I meant when I first used the words leftover, left behind, royal family. I have seen other people calling them that now. Okay, I don't know who called them leftover. I don't know. I think I used to call them left behinders, I think I used to call them, left behinders. Even do these people then say it out loud, it looks like that is what they were thinking. We are stuck with the leftover left behind royal family now. Okay, Richard propaganda is a failure. Is that Momindo, aka Richard, Harry and Meghan, or his bread and butter, if we're honest? Okay, yes indeed, there's the hashtag, good King Harry outshine the rest of the ribbon cutting working royals simply by existing. You know who I would like to see a TikTok video of? What's it? Martin. He usually sums it up pretty well. Very short video and he sums it up. Maybe tomorrow I'll come across it. Camilla is common as dust. That's the person Harry's father fought for, yet Harry's choice of an elegant woman who carries herself with a natural regality is attacked daily. Alright, this one is 2 minutes and 6 seconds. I think I came across one of his videos before. Someone shared it. He looks familiar from past videos.
Fly past and the parade at VE Day. The parade was spectacular. The fly past was very good. I know one Spitfire ended up in a field. But the thing which sort of took the shine off it was the desperation of the Queen to find a plastic bottle of water and then drinking that plastic bottle of water in public. It seemed to me to be inappropriate. Why wasn't she supplied with a glass? Why wasn't she? I don't understand. I don't understand this idea of royals roughing it or royals quote working.
Roughing it.
And I've never understood this obsession with bottles of plastic water, plastic bottles of water. I've never understood it. I've never understood it in the theatre. I've never understood it in the street. I've never understood it in real life. This obsession with giving plastic bottles at every opportunity because that's healthy. It's ugly. It's ugly. And then you next have to witness the person drinking the water as if they're on a desert island. Lots of glugging. And then they start smashing it and putting the lid back on and making a hell of a noise. In the end, the real question is not whether and frankly, do you want to see the Queen guzzling water or would you prefer to see Prince Harry? I know which I prefer. There were moments in that parade this morning when the Queen looked magnificent and then she undermines it with this desperate search for water and Keir Starmer sort of prodding her in the back and saying, "Here, Mum." And it's sort of unattractive. And yet there's somebody in California who deals with public appearances with an ease and a charm that doesn't seem to be equalled anywhere else in the royal family except perhaps with Princess Anne.
Wow. But anyway, I didn't watch the thing. It's later on, late at night, I came and I saw some people were posting about the VE Day. I had to search for it. What was the VE stand for when I was doing the video? Okay, in my opinion, everything Camilla does is deliberate and is done to signal that she is the Queen and that she can do whatever undignified thing that she chooses in public. It's like a child sticking their tongue out. She's at her worst for this when she does overseas visit. Okay, that will explain her walking barefoot while in Australia. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I remember that. They go for the worst. I mean, these people, oh my God. Those guys want the worst to stand next to them. When in fact, when you have someone who's elegant like Meghan, who stands tall and support the husband and all of that, has a brain, they look strong and powerful together. But they're so freaking weak. They want someone who's worse than them. Oh my Lord. That will explain her walking barefoot while in Australia as she performed her working royal duties. What a class act. What stupid people for playing out the emperor has no close game. Alright, yeah, Queen Camilla drinking water from a plastic bottle was not a good look for the wife and stepmother of the guy planning to save planet Earth, that part, King Charles the Cool and William the Wasted. Oh my god. Father and son strive to save planet Earth. This made me laugh. Where can I follow this guy for his video? Camilla is rightly facing backlash over this. Her public behavior and mannerism are somewhat vulgar and uncouth. They had Princess Diana. My goodness! From what they had to what they have now. It's unbelievable. Hear me out on this. There's the laugh. The fact that this is how royal voters went about frivolous things against Sussexes made me giggle. I mean, but truth is, Charles and Camilla, William and Kate have sucked life, elegance and majesty out of royal life. It has become common. What is that here? Who's Harry's father? Oh, whatever. Okay, even you could see from certain pictures how Harry looks like Charles. This, no matter which picture you look at it, Harry's nose is Charles. Even the royalists are embarrassed by the former community mattress. Alright, let me read what's this and then move on. Camilla is trash, that's all. Okay, QCC1 is not a real royal. She is fraud that slept her way to the top. But hey, Meghan, shut a car door. Alright, that's a different language. I don't like Camilla, but I won't call scratching your mane in public carrying yourself with a natural regality. Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay. Oh, this one was kind of funny. Auntie spoken, no lies detected. Quote, and I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king, not William. We don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Charles is the monster, not Harry, and the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. Look at her face. Where is she? I would love to know what part of the world is this. Let's listen.
And I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay?
Well, and I am 2 years ago.
I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being. And behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brit. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
Oh my God, at the end. Oh, she's absolutely gorgeous. I love her side off. LOL. Her side off is the best. Okay, I love Auntie. I remember her. Yes, Auntie cursed out the devils. Okay, love this woman. So if the monarchy is nonsense, why does she want Harold as king? Well, if it's there, might as well go for the best. I can't believe this. I just responded to something and I thought I was, let me go look for it. Profile, reply. Okay, my reply is this. Well, if it is there, it's best to go for the best of them all. Why stick with the mediocre, which is what the monarchy has right now? Downgrade from Princess Diana to that woman next to King Charles III. Alright, so let me go to another one. I have one more tweet after this. And then later tonight, I'll see if there's more. New ones. Okay, let's pause this. The fire in the nursery was planned. Thank God for the nanny. Okay, they wanted to put the blame. Let's pause. They wanted to put the blame on South Africa. That baby boy and his mama were put on this earth for a purpose. That's an ad. Okay, or that fire was not random. That family planted it and wanted to blame South Africa. OMG, I had forgotten that. Right? Okay, you should listen to the interview she gave in Zimbabwe. Okay, I never come across it. Okay, it wasn't just a small random thing. Even if it was just electrical, that little infant did not stand a chance with smoke inhalation. That family make the mafia look tame. My goodness. I mean, if they could do that to a child their own, just think of the savagery they have in their heart. Oh my God, they tried it, but God said no. My goodness. I also like to know what the first nanny at Frogmore did. Meghan friend said she was fired for gross misconduct. Okay, trying to harm an innocent infant, karma is coming to them lot. They're always trying to make other countries look bad. Someone had posted something where certain things that happen in different countries, they do their things outside of the country. I wish I had put it on the list. Okay, I always thought it was suspicious. OMG, yes, I believe this. There was an article that I read that spoke about the fire. Maybe it's that one they're talking about? All right, let's go to, this is my last one. Oh, this has nothing to do with the Sussexes. That's a little bit politics, global politics. Emmanuel Macron has stated that France will not abandon its former African colonies, arguing that Africa is not yet ready to thrive independently. They're telling you they don't need you. What the hell is wrong with this guy? What the hell is wrong with him? Yet, when black people are in their country, look at when Oprah, I think it was in France. Was it France or Italy? They're treating them, every black person, as if they are criminals already. They're telling you they don't need you. My goodness. Okay, he believed a complete withdrawal could help progress and emphasize France's ongoing role in supporting the continent's growth. But you've been there for so long, there was no growth. There was so many things that has been going on where insurgents were attacking, something, Burkina Faso, and they're asking them for ammunition for them to protect themselves, okay, to protect their land. They didn't give them ammunition. Instead, they're sending them boots, uniform, all the non-essential things that will not keep them safe. My good, I mean, they're revealing themselves one by one, and there's so many assassination attempt on the president of Burkina Faso. We need to keep on praying for them, because I think there's other countries that's following suit and throwing the French out. And the other day I was thinking, the thing when you look at in the US, when the military keeps on telling Congress they do not need any more military equipment, those weapons and all of that, and the Republicans and the Senate always say, yes, you do need it. Yes, you do need it. Okay? This is why. Now they got the White House, they got the Senate, they got the House of Representatives, and then majority of the judges, the Supreme Court judges, are them. So, I mean, America made a huge, huge, huge mistake, and we will rise up. We meaning Africa. Okay, he believes okay, I read that already. Let's see here some of the comment. Oh my God, this one is 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Growth, he says, listen to this. All right. Maybe after this, that's it. This is too long already.
If you wanted to stop Africa from becoming a superpower, you wouldn't have to invent a new strategy. The blueprint has already been written, tested, and perfected over centuries. You'd start by making sure Africa never unites. The easiest way to do that is by keeping people divided along ethnic, tribal, and religious lines. If they ever start working together, remind them of past grievances. Stoke old wounds. Fund separatist movements. Keep border disputes unresolved. Make sure every time they take one step forward, they take 2 steps back because they're too busy fighting each other. You'd install leaders who serve foreign interests, not their people. Find the most corrupt, the most easily manipulated, the ones who crave wealth and status more than progress. Offer them power in exchange for loyalty. If a leader rises who actually cares about Africa, get rid of them. Assassinate them if necessary. But if that's too messy, just destabilize their government and back a coup. If they talk about nationalizing resources, make an example out of them. If they try to unite Africa, take them out before the idea spreads. You'd keep Africa economically weak by making sure it never industrializes. Let them export raw materials, but never process them themselves. Control the mines, the oil fields, the rare earth minerals. Keep them selling cheap and buying expensive. If a country tries to break free and build its own industries, sabotage it. Place sanctions, destabilize its currency, fund local opposition, crash its economy. If that doesn't work, orchestrate a civil war. People can't build when they're too busy trying to survive. You'd make sure their education system produces workers, not innovators. Teach them history that glorifies their oppressors. Make them think their cultures are primitive. Their ancestors were savages. Their future depends on foreign approval. Train them to memorize, not to think critically. Keep their best and brightest looking overseas for opportunities. Make them dream of escaping Africa rather than fixing it. Offer scholarships that take their top minds to the West and never encourage them to return. Let the continent keep training doctors and engineers only for them to go enrich other nations. You'd control their narratives. Own their media, control their stories, dictate their image to the world. Make them believe they are corrupt, hopeless, eternally in crisis. Flood their screens with poverty porn and war zones. Show them charity ads that make them believe they are helpless without foreign aid. Downplay their successes. Twist their victories into isolated incidents. If an African country develops a groundbreaking innovation, credit a foreign investor. If an African leader implements a successful policy, frame it as an anomaly rather than proof of competence. You'd make sure they remain dependent. Drown them in debt. Offer loans with impossible conditions. Force them to privatize everything so foreign corporations own their water, their electricity, their land. When they struggle, give them just enough aid to keep them alive, but never enough to make them self-sufficient. Use charities to create a culture of reliance rather than resilience. Make them think foreign intervention is necessary, that they can't solve their own problems, that they always need help from the outside. You'd suppress their military strength. Keep their armies weak, their defense industries non-existent. Sell them weapons to...
Just like I was just saying about France. Okay, Burkina Faso was asking France for weapons for them to defend themselves. They're just sending them, you know, tangible things, boots, clothes, things like that, but not firepower. Now they're producing their own weapon, okay? Burkina Faso, they're producing their own weapon because of what France did. And then it's them who's also creating those terrorists within those countries. All right? I hope all of Africans listen to that, especially Haiti. Haiti, they're playing this so well in Haiti. This is why I say education is the key thing for Haiti. Let's continue.
Fight each other, but never let them develop high-tech military technology. If a country tries to build a strong defense system, accuse them of being a threat to stability. Make sure they...
Isn't Trump saying that about Burkina Faso right now? Trump is saying this right now.
They always need foreign peacekeepers, foreign military bases, foreign advisors controlling their security. Keep them vulnerable to invasion, coups, and foreign interference. The formula is simple. Divide, corrupt, exploit, miseducate, control. Keep them fighting each other. Keep them looking outside for solutions. Keep them poor, dependent, insecure. Make sure every attempt to break free is met with resistance so strong that the next generation thinks twice before trying again. This isn't a theory. It's history. The real question isn't how to stop Africa from becoming a superpower. It's how Africa can break the cycle despite every effort to keep it down.
Alright, so that pretty much sums it up. While I was listening to this, I was on my phone and I saw something. Let me share it with you. This one. I have compassion fatigue. Have the life you voted for. This is in Wisconsin. Okay, Trump won that 10 electoral vote by this amount. Okay, so they retweeted that. Wisconsin produces 90% of the country's ginseng. About 85% of it is exported to China and Hong Kong. Now, Wisconsin producers have a warehouse full of ginseng nobody is buying because of Trump's tariffs. All right, so there's that.
my career, I've learned a lot about business, including how tariffs work. Now let me just ask you a question. Do you all know anybody who doesn't know how tariffs work? All right, I'll give you a hint. That other guy. Now he has this crazy notion that putting a tariff of 60% on every single product imported from China is a good idea. Let me just tell you, this man has so little understanding of tariffs, he thinks that China pays for them. This is the same guy who also thought that Mexico would pay for the wall, so there's no surprise. Did Mexico pay for that wall? Hell, no, you said it wrong. Hell no. That's what I'm talking about.
You argue that Donald Trump's are particularly, I think you used the word insane. What did you mean by that?
Yep. Well, first of all, strategic tariffs aren't bad. So if a company's trying to dump, or a country's trying to dump in the United States and we have a manufacturer there, tariff them, that's great. But across the board tariffs, 10 or 20%, is just inflationary. It's a tax on the American consumer. But to make matters even worse, and what's truly insane, when you threaten a legendary company like John Deere with a 200% tariff if they move, but only a 10 or 20% tariff on China, what you're doing is you're making it easy for the Chinese competitors to take business away from John Deere. That is the definition of insane.
I don't want to go too deep in that. All right, so let's do a prayer for the mind. Let's do that so we could think straight. All right, let's look for an image, a quick one. All right, let's do this one. Prayer for free from the worry and fear. God, calm my heart and mind. I pray you free me of these worries and fears replaying in my mind. As I lay down to sleep, take my anxiety and frustration. Help me place them all in your hands. Give me peace and comfort as I close my eyes. I lay claim to your truth, that my heart should not be troubled, that I should not be afraid. Thank you, God, for taking the burdens of this day from me. I pray for sound sleep and a rested mind, heart and soul. And you, I will be still. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And I'll be putting, I did one long video. One will be on PYTE and another one will be on APTS Sussex. Okay, so, and I need to make a lot of thumbnails. How many thumbnails that I need to do? Some of them are scheduled. All right, so that is it. I need to render this. That will be for later today. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.